Right, hello again. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Science Mode, part 19, which is hopefully going to be the part where we actually finish off actually getting ourselves on a transfer to Duna and Ike, which is the plan. So, yeah, had some issues with figuring out interplanetary transfers last time, which I've had a bit more practice with in my career mode save. I've been kicking off an E.V.A mission in my career mode, so hopefully I've learned a bit better how to do interplanetary. But yes, so double check everything is fine. Cool. We'll go straight to the tracking station because our initial thing is that we have various things in flight. So we currently have the comsat hopefully on its way. We should have a maneuver scheduled for that. Orbit maybe is that's just off on its own now. See if that ever comes back into that might come back into Kerbin spheres. If it does, we'll try and catch it. But yeah, until then, so we've got the. There's a lot of debris around here. Let's terminate some of this debris. Cool, that should be all the debris. Right, so yes, we have comsat's on its way. The next thing we want to do is the Ike and the Duna landers, and then the main ship. Which this is still called going to Duna for some reason. Hey, Fjord Obelisk, how you doing? Right, where's the next thing? That is the Minbus site. Why is that a ship? I feel like that's got a probe core on it, but what do we want? Do we have landers? We do have landers lit up. So we should have a lander somewhere around here. There's one, Ike Lander, and can we find the Duna? Let's just turn off ships for a second. Ike Lander there. That's a okay. That's okay. I think that's our Duna Lander there. So Ike Lander's probably the next one to go for. So yeah, so the plan is to try and get this thing into orbit of Ike. I don't think we've got any maneuvers set up for it yet, but we want to space things out a bit. So this is so let's just add our maneuver here. Let's put about an hour and a half. Probably be enough time. So basically, we want to try and avoid things like arriving at Duna at the same time, basically. Which actually reminds me, we do want to hang on. Let's switch to this and make sure that we added the maneuver node to the alarms. We did not. Cool. Let's do that. Let's make sure we don't have maneuvers at the same time, basically. But for some reason, this in my career mode save, this is bigger, and I don't know why. That button doesn't work at all. Again, I don't think the settings are any different. Oh, we'll leave it. But yes, we want to switch back to Ike Lander. And continue with our maneuver, which at the moment is here. Should hopefully be going roughly in the kind of. If we make it so that our escape trajectory is actually along Kerbin's, there we go, orbital line, then in fact our hypothesis is nearly at Duna as it is. We set Duna as our target, switch back to this, there we go, closest approach there. Two, one. There you go, getting close now. Two-minute 40-second burn. There we go. So our periapsis like here. I reckon we could probably do a deep space maneuver to further correct this, be easier. So periapsis here. See if we can't get into the Duna system and then try and get it to intercept Ike. Will be the plan. So if we go up, 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 up. See what prograde does. Prograde brings it closer in. Oof. Okay, let's up. No, we don't want up, we want down. There you go, it's about in the plane, isn't it? Let's set Ike as our target. Our closest approach is here. Ike's going to be around here, so we want to try and get our maneuver 2, so we reduce this down a bit, so get a bit more fine control. Focus our view on Ike. And again, it'll be around here, won't it, when we arrive. So it'll be around there. So we do want to come past on this side, I think. Hit maneuver 2. Bring it down to roughly equatorial. Again, we don't need to worry too much about this because, like, this will be affected by our first burn. If we don't do it perfectly, which, you know, is entirely possible. Okay, it works. So we're hitting periapsis at 3 minutes, and then I assume. Okay, that's pretty good. So yeah, the we leave Ike's sphere of influence like a good 15 minutes later. So we should be fine to use the nuclear engines to slow down. Okie dokie, I think we should be okay. Right, so let's head back to the thingy screen. It's going to be a 2-minute and 48-second burn. This will be quite a long burn. Let's go and point ourselves in the direction we want to go. We'll worry about that later. We can always move it if necessary. Right. Cool, yeah, we're pointing the direction we want to go. We have the ability to point directly at maneuver nodes, which is something I don't have on the landers I built in my career mode save. So let's get this show on the road. It is very dark. Let's make sure our staging is fine. I think it's fine. 25 seconds, and then this will be quite a long bit. I might try some physical time warp. I think I know how to do it. Just to cut down the burn time. But we'll do it after we stage, because the staging will be pretty quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start burn. Okay, so stop burn. Okay. That's fine. Okay, let's go now. Well, let's try this. Go down to the last 30 seconds of burn. Just save on some time. And then try not to overburn this. Again, the advantage of being able to point directly at the maneuver node is that it won't deviate as you get close to the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay. Right. We should be, in theory, and presumably the map will be, yeah. Yes, because our burn was not exactly great. It means we need to correct this. But yeah, 201 days, 2 hours, 217 days, 4 hours. So yeah, we're fine. These maneuvers aren't going to. Right. Maneuver 1. Let's Oh, there's maneuver. There we are. Maneuver. There's our thing. Right. Cool. We are nearly at the plane. So. Bingo. Okay, where are we actually intercepting Ike there? Ike encounter there. $50K seems a reasonable place to. Again, we want to kind of do this right. 54, 40, 47, 51 do. I think Ike's going to be around here when we actually intercept it. So we will be coming along the inside of Ike, so I think we should be fine to. Like the thing I want to do is make sure that we're all in the like we're basically arriving in the same like rotation. So I want to be going um I want to be going essentially kind of like clockwise. That's anti-clockwise, isn't it? Yeah, because basically as you look down, these things tend to rotate anti-clockwise. So I want to try and keep in that rotation, basically. So like anti-clockwise as you look down. But cool, yeah. That should give us our Ike encounter in 278 days. And then 270 days, 53 minutes, and then yeah, that's plenty of time to slow down with the nuclear engines. Look at that, 18 meters per second to get our Ike encounter, and then hopefully not too much to slow it down afterwards. But so let's add our maneuver to the our maneuver alarm. Let me show the way of making this bigger. Yeah, I find this annoying, but I don't know if no, never mind. Again, it's a slight annoyance, and I don't know why it's doing it on this save. Whereas the again the my career mode save is fine. Like it's fully sized, you get everything. But for some reason this is incorrect. Right, we've got the alarm set up. So let's we were in the map screen. Hang on. Let's go back to focus on the Ike Lander. That'll do. Right, so the next thing we want to launch is the this thing's already on its way out of the thing. This thing's on its way now. The next thing is the Duna Lander transfer stage, I believe, which should be a bit easier. We just want to get this thing into into orbit around Duna, like a nice low Duna orbit. This thing will probably take a bit longer to We've got most of the fuel in the ascent stage though, so... Right, so if we do the same thing for this basically, add a maneuver here, let's again separate it out by a few hours. So let's add another hour and a half, I think. I mean, basically the theory is that if we launch these things with gaps, they should arrive with gaps if they take about the same time. But obviously, like worst case scenario is we have to choose which thing, or I guess we can probably like tweak things as we need to when we're closer. But yeah, so let's just get this thing onto a similar track like this. It's 3-minute 53-second burn already. That's quite a long time. I'm assuming I haven't. No, thrust limiter is maximum. Quite a long burn. Well, I guess we're doing a lot of big delta V change, so makes sense. So let's go here. Maneuver 1, we might be able to do this in a single burn. Set Duna as our target. We don't need to worry about Ike being our target. Oh look, we're already pretty damn close. This is a lot easier than it was last time. Right, let's just see how well we can get this. So pre-axis like so. Again, pretty far down. But I'm thinking if we just get this like pretty good in terms of prograde and retrograde. So we just get it like, you know, about there, and then we fix the we'll have a deep space maneuver to bring this up into the plane of the orbit. Will be the plan. So if we zoom out, hopefully zoom out to the point where we can get the so like say here, add a maneuver, go back in, and this is where we bring this way up. 2 up. Less up. Due to periapsis. Right, let's just get us down to the into the plane of the orbit. Roughly. Like so. Let's see, that brings us further out. Let's fine tune this a bit. That's quite nicely in the plane. Can we get this down to like, we don't want to go, I think 50 kilometers is I think 50 kilometers is the height of the atmosphere, so we want to be able to rendezvous with this thing. So I'm thinking 100 kilometers, and then on our way from Ike, and yeah, we're coming through in the same direction Ike's rotating. So the idea would be that we bring the main ship from Ike, and then we bring it into a higher orbit around Duna, and then we do the rendezvous from a higher orbit to a lower orbit. And then once we've got the once we've docked to the lander and we're ready to go, we bring the lander down. And then it also makes it easier if we park in a 100-kilometer orbit. We can then figure out rendezvousing after we land, assuming we land, etc. Right. So we have our initial burn. And again, this will get screwed up by the fact we won't be doing the initial burn perfectly. So let us point ourselves in the direction we want to go with this incredibly slowly rotating ship. Look at it rotate. So I mean, like it's nearly pointing where it wants to go. But now it's good. We've got like most of our right, we're pointing where we want to go. Let's shoot ourselves around to our maneuver. Zoom. And again, quite a long burn, so I'm probably gonna. And again, most of it's gonna be with the I think most of it is probably oh gosh, I didn't realise it was gonna move that much. Well, I hope we can point it in time. Okay, I think this is the thing about like launching ourselves to Junior on an ejection orbit is that we generally have to burn the nighttime side of Kerbin because you burn as you're going onto the nighttime side because you want to be like ejecting yourself in the direction that Kerbin is going to get to a higher orbit to a higher solar orbit. So these generally happen at night. All right, 10 seconds. And I think the first part of this burn is probably going to be the quickest, and then the nuclear engines will be slower. So I would be surprised if, having said that, okay, we're going to try physical time warp. Just to cut the time down a bit. Down to like when we get close to staging, which is now. So we do this until we need to stage. And then we physical time warp this. Just to cut the time down. Again, we'll do the last 30 seconds of the burn because that's when we're going to be There we go. And then yeah, the hope here is that we'll be able to control everything going forward because our Kerbals will be following this stuff not too far behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, 0.1. I don't think we're going to be able to. We'll have to rotate around. So let's see how that's affected our thing. And we are not. Oh no, we're. Okay, so now we fix this maneuver, and then we put it in our alarm clock, and then we've got one more thing to yeet out of the Kerbin system, which is the main ship with the Kerbals on board. So yes, let's bring this back up, and again we are much too high and much too wide. You see how like minor differences in our ejection burn there have such vast differences on our trajectory. Like this correction burn originally had us going like 100 within 100 kilometers of the planet, and because the burn isn't done perfectly. Like my timing is slightly off and stuff, and also like the maneuver node assumes that you like impart the change in velocity instantaneously, whereas you have to like average it out by burning half before and half after, which isn't perfect. So you always have to sort of correct these things. So if we bring this back down to the plane again, roughly, and then we bring her in. Like so. Bring this down to sort of fine tune things. Again, we can fine tune this maneuver because this is the next one, so this isn't going to be affected by anything else. Like, cool. So this maneuver, look at like 15.4 meters per second. This is a 7-second burn. Like this is not a very big burn, but it has a massive change on our it's not that much delta V, but it's enough to get us in here, and then we'll use the whole the rest of this set of delta V, and then a bunch of this stuff to actually slow us down. Yeah. So let's again. Must be a way of. I don't think there is there? So it is really annoying that this thing is in a collapsed form. Yeah, during the transfer stage, 214 days, 201, 217. Again, these are all different times, which is good. I think it gets bigger now. Odd. Buggy. But cool, right, so that's fine. So if we correct this thing. So yeah, we've got these two on the way out. This is following it now. And if we bring the ships back into view, Minbus Science Spaceship, I will deal with that soon. Going to Duna, and yeah, so going to Duna is our next candidate for yeeting. And again, it's called going to Duna. I don't know why it's called that. This should be. We should have renamed this. Yeah. So I don't know why it's not. Unless it's something else, which is I don't think there is. This is our science stuff, isn't it? I think our probe core is in here, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to do. That's priority 1, which should be. I'll just remove it. Again, we don't really need to worry about it because this is an integral bar. Like, these things aren't being disconnected, so it doesn't really matter if it doesn't have a name. Yeah, okay, it's called KSS Pioneer. I'm not sure about how the name priority works, but anyway, go back to the map screen, and we want to get this bad boy to Duna as well. So if we hit our maneuver here, let's again shunt it forward by an hour or so. Again, we want to be relatively close because basically, like, the Kerbals in this ship are going to be like in charge of the entire Duna operation. The idea is that I believe they have the ability to. I believe if you have 2 Kerbals in your command pod, you have the ability to control probes as if they were within radio range of Kerbin, as long as there are 2 Kerbals there. So that's 2 pilots able in the because they need one in the command pod to control the ship that's being flown, and then another one who can control other ships remotely. I believe that's how it works. I might be wrong, and if I am, then we might be seeing some unmanned stuff go just fly by Juno with no ability to stop it, which would be annoying because we won't have the ability to land anywhere. But at least we'll be able to get some science from orbit. So yeah, let's get ourselves like roughly onto this trajectory. Do the same thing again. Oh, we had it then. Periapsis. This is it. This is like the optimal time, isn't it? Periapsis. In encounter with Juno straight away. Brilliant. Let's fit it. It won't let me click on Juno for some reason. Switch into and out of map again. Why won't it let me focus on it? Okay, I can Eve, but I can't click on Juno for some reason. That's useful. Why can't I click on Juno? There we go, focus view. So weird. Right, so we... Okay, so I'm thinking, yeah, we set up our second maneuver. Like out here somewhere. And we get this this thing where we need it to go. So let's bring it down over here. Get her up. Oh, okay, brilliant. Ike Periapsis straight away. Ike Periapsis, and then yeah. That's cool. Again, it won't let me click on Ike. Oh, you can just double click on it to focus it. Silly thing, not working. Right, so yeah, let's get this in the ballpark where we want it. Ike Periapsis. Again, we're a bit low. We want to be up. Oh wow, that's way too much. Okay. So we need this to bring it closer in. I reckon 100 kilometers is probably a reasonable way to come in. And again, we're kind of coming in here. Like this is actually like on that side of Duna at the time. So I think we actually want to be coming in the other side of Ike. So if we do this, then hopefully we end up, I think. I'm going to hope they won't take too much delta V to change this as we're coming in. But I Is that right? I think Ike will be over there. Yeah, so if we're coming this way, we do want to end up going around this way, I think. Again, we might have to fix that later. But that again, that is not quite the ballpark, but I guess it's covering 100 kilometers around Ike, like so. Again, it's not perfect, but I mean we'll have a. Again, this is the order of like 20 odd delta like meters per second. So okay, right. So yes, we have our next maneuver in an hour. With a 2-minute 28-second burn, let's point ourselves towards our target, and let's have ourselves go. I might keep an eye on that liquid fuel actually, because it's not. It's not telling us exactly how, like when we need to jettison this, but 1 hour and 4 minutes. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go to Duna. Right. Let it rotate back towards the thing, because apparently the actual like maneuver node target changes apparently, which I thought generally doesn't happen, but I guess maybe the game's losing track of it, but yeah. Right. 38 seconds. Okay. Okay, let's fizz warp. Slow down fizz warp in time to stage. Okay. What's our fuel consumption like here? Let's leave this in case we need to stage it. Actually, we've only got like a minute, so I think we could probably just leave this burning. There's not much point fizz warping it. Eight. 2.4 meter, and yeah, we're nowhere near needing to ditch this fuel tank, so we should be hopefully again. Okay, this is not quite right. That's target. Okay, we need to. Oop, there we go. Tuner Paris is way over there. Again, we are aiming for Ike, and Ike's going to be around about there. Yeah, Ike Periaps is going to be around about here, which is kind of the side we want it to be on. I think. Go 100 kilometers. Again, we're coming flying in here, so in theory, yeah, this will be around there. We're coming in that way, and we do want to rotate anti-clockwise as we're coming down. Cool. Well, then perhaps it's 36 minutes and then 47 minutes. So yeah, plenty of time to slow down and get into orbit. Okay, cool. That's a 618. That's a 9-second burn when we get to it, and our thing is 156 days, which is actually considerably quicker than. Yeah, I think it's just because we're doing it at a different, like an earlier point in the orbit. I think so. 217 days. Yeah, this is going to be considerably. I think it's yeah because we're just picking like a random point in like the intervening interplanetary space. So obviously so long as it's a different time, we should be fine. So let's add this, and this is the first one. So now that they're on their way out of the Kerbin system, what we'll do is we will switch to we'll switch to Minmus and the Mind just to grab the science from those two things, and then we'll switch back to this, and what we'll do is we'll time warp out of this Kerbin system, grab some science from the orbit of the sun, start processing it in the science lab, so that we're actually generating some science as we're flying, and then we'll start doing the necessaries. Cool. Right. So go to map screen because we'll just go. There we go. We want Minmus. And we'll deal with the debris or something. Yeah, so these are all off on their little merry way. Focus view, zoom in. Go to our Minmus base. Switch to that, and let's grab some science. Boing. What's that power like? Yeah, it doesn't. Let's 498 science after so many years. That is silly. It really should be 500 by now. We've been time warping for a year. Like well over a year. So it's surprising that it's not fully full. That's odd. Come on, 9. 500. There we go. Alright, let's try this. I assume... oh yeah, we've got no electric charge. Let's wait until... Can we just time warp to sunrise? Again, we've got time, I think. None of the... There we go. Cool, we are fully faked. Let's gently land back on the thing. Let's transmit our science. Let's just time warp that bad boy. Cool. Boing. Right, let's see. The moon should also have some science for us. Let's focus view there. Let's go to our orbital station. Let's go to M.O.E.S. This is processing a lot slower, so there might be a... oh, I see. It's updated since... Okay, I see. If it thinks the science is full, so it stops doing the research, even though it hasn't actually quite topped up to yeah. 7, 8, 9. Stop. And we should be fine for electric charge. Let's just transmit that science. Cool, that's done. 499 science added. Stop. No, 500. 500 science, damn it. Oh well. That is fine. Let's head back to the Space Center for now. And we should have some nice amount of 1100 science, which is should be enough to research some things. So at the moment, I'm thinking if we can research... because essentially, at the moment, I want to build basically like a space dock for the KSS Pioneer to dock at when they return. So I'm looking for the parts needed to do that, which is usually going to be like tensor by very heavy rocketry. Large volume containment gives us some stuff. Composites gives us, which one gives us the is it meta? Oh yeah, meta materials gives us a stocking port senior, which I want, but that's going to be a okay. Meta materials is 550. Oh yeah, because these ones cost 1,000. So we should be able to afford both composites and meta materials. Which will give us the Gambitron docking port senior, which I do want. We have to research composites to get there. Composites gives us the bigger aerostream protective shell, which is good. Inline clampetrons, which are great. The engine plate, useful. Some girders, some more structural stuff. Large volume containment gives us the bigger tanks. I'm wondering if maybe we leave metamaterials until after we've done the next set of research, because very heavy rocketry gives us some very nice things. This is basically gives us all of the rocket engines, I think. Aside from the aerospike, which I believe is the aerospike, which is what we get from this, so I'm thinking better engines are useful for getting us into more into orbit. So you've got the Rhino, you have the Mammoth engine, which will be useful. Mastodons, and these things as well, the vectors. Grab the big rocket parts. We'll also grab. Do we want composites now? We've got enough for one of these. Don't want to become famous. You want to become you want to become banned. So I'm thinking, yeah, we've got that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't make me get moderators. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Anyway, so you want composites. We want to get mesh materials. We want to build a nice space station at some point soon. So let's get composites, and then we'll look at the meta materials and stuff, large volume containment, etc. Again, we've got 200 science, so I'm thinking maybe we get some more of these parts. Actuators, yeah, we get some more robotic parts. I think that'll be useful. Also, we get the grabbers, which should be good for if we want other stuff. What do these get us? Advanced aerodynamics gets us some things. High supersonic flight gives us. Starts giving us some more. Oh yeah, liquid fuel fuselages are useful. So I'm thinking maybe we grab some more of these parts while we're here. Get 90 for that, and then get one of these. Specialized control. I don't know. Let's grab actuators. Gives us some more robotic parts. Okay, that's enough science chopping. So, I think we'll just continue on with our Duna mission. We don't quite have enough to. I'll wait until we have the uh, docking port senior before building like I have a plan for a space dock, which I will then dock the LKO return to is the plan. So yeah, our next maneuver is the Pioneer itself, so might as well stick with that. Although the square is already a bit out of kilter. There you go. So where is it? KSS Pioneer. Let's go. Right. So here we are. We have our Jeb and Natsuki, our two pilots in the main command pod. And we have our engineer there. Make sure we've got all the parts we need. I think we do. Why are these dark? I don't know why these are dark. I think that's just I think that's possibly a glitch. But yes, right. Let's go. So we'll first off we'll time warp out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. Kerbin escape in 1 hour 15. Let's just warp that. Whee! "22 minutes away. Let's warp to 18. Yeah, quite glad I disabled the comment the comment links. Right, where is Kerbin? Can we even... There it is. There's Kerbin. Look at it. It's so tiny. Be a while since these guys have seen Kerbin again. Although I think probably do it in like a stream anyway. Let's actually I was going to extend this because we might as well have this is because this is outside. And I might modify the action groups so that can we just toggle? We can toggle the boom, can't we? Yeah, we'll toggle the boom as part of this, so that when we're doing like retraction and extension, etc. Don't need to worry too much about it. And then if we go custom 5, I believe is the thingamajig. We also want to run magnetometer report as part of this custom. Let's have custom 1 to the doors and ladder. And I think these doors are defunct, right? Cool. So we're still in space high over the grassland, so we're going to be like this will be we'll be switching to the sun in a minute. In 2 minutes 43 seconds. "38 seconds away. We go to space. Well, we're going to be out. We're about to be in space, or deep space. And then we'll Google it science. We'll pop the scientists in here, and we will start doing our lab research whilst we're on the way to I don't think the sun has biomes, so that biome should disappear when we cross the threshold. There we go. Right. We are in space high over the sun. So let's see if we can't do this. Let's do this. And then I wonder if we do this without needing an E.V.A, but we'll see. Let's hit 5, I believe it's science. Let's keep experiments. The question is, can we transfer data? Okay, so we can transfer the data into these. So we can do this like automatically. So we just shove everything in there at the moment. So that's 4 stored data in there. So yeah, we want to return this stuff. Oh yeah, we need to do this. So we'll transfer the data into here. I assume we need to transfer our 2 scientists into here. Does that give us the clean experiments ability? There we go. Okay, let's E.V.A grouse. And of course it comes out on the back, which is useful. So let's board him again. Let's transfer him to the let's transfer grouse into here and then E.V.A him from there. Because that way we come out on the right bloody side of the ship. So in theory, if we go up here, we can grab the crew report. We can do an E.V.A report. And we go down, all the way down here to shove it in this box, and then we do everything again. So we store our data in here, store our experiments there. So we have 7 experiments in here. We're going to do everything else now. So if we pop him back up here for now. And the plan will be to shove the extra copy of data into here, which will then we'll use this data to feed the lab is the plan. So if we go up here, we switch back to the ship. We hit 5. We do a whole load more science. Oh, I see. You can stick them in the lab once there are people inside it. But we keep all of these. Switch back to this guy. We go up. Grab that. Guess we can grab this on the way down. And then they extend the boom again. Take an E.V.A report. Zoom in. I'm going to just do this manually. So click data. Take the data. Take the data. Cut the data. Store 7 experiments. And then we might as well restore these. So that's basically 2 sets of experiments to take back to Kerbin, and then a last set of experiments to shove in our lab, which, to be fair, I think we can just do straight away. Yeah, let's just go in the lab, 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 in the lab. Let's extend this again because it looks nicer when it's out. Oh yeah, we need to actually control Grouse in order to be able to do the E.V.A report with him. E.V.A report. I think that's everything else. We can use the lab to clean data. Let's board here. That's where we want it to be. We review the data and we shove that in the lab. So that lab now has 171 days, which isn't a lot, but it's some. We can start our research. We'll clean the experiments. There we go. And then we will start doing our research. And then we don't have a lot of data in there, but we'll get more data as time goes on. So that will do. And then we'll see how long it'll take to get that lab's worth data. So if we add over a science lab, that is going to be in 170 days, which is after our. But it's worth having, so let's just add that in there, so we know when to transmit our data home. Right. I think the next big thing will be to go to our maneuver and do it. And then hopefully, if we if things are done right, then we're really bouncing a relay off there. Interesting. Okay. So in theory, we should be able to see the other if they're visible. That is. Should be. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're all relatively close to each other. Right, yeah. Let's continue on. So let's first of all get rid of this one, because essentially now that we're going to time warp to the maneuver, the problem is that like this mod, if you get close to the, it basically takes control of the time warp speed, and the problem is that if it does it whilst you're warping to a maneuver, it can kind of screw it and make you overshoot. So what I normally do is I delete the alarm for the maneuver I'm about to warp to. And then we'll see how this goes. So let's do it. Let's just warp to our next maneuver node. The advantage of science mode is that you can just, you don't need to worry about too much about doing contracts, and because like in my career mode save when I was doing this, like I set things off towards junior and then I did a whole load of contracts and stuff whilst it was traveling, and then when it got close to the maneuver node I would then go and deal with it, like when it got within like a week. So you see these are all still relatively close together, which is good. We have 58 seconds. Let's point ourselves at our maneuver node. And let's just and then hopefully this will work. Yeah, I should probably do this looking at the map screen, but stop. Right, let's see what that did for us. Do we still have an Ike periapsis? We do have an Ike periapsis. It's not exactly where we want it to be. Maybe I should do maybe I should do these things based on So yeah, it's not that far off. Yeah, that's about right. 2.9 meters per second. I think I'll probably do this on monoprop since we have quite a bit of it. Let's just check our fuel tank again. Lots of fuel in it. Cool, so that maneuvers in 53 days. Again, I could probably do it. Like I don't know if I need if I'll watch the map screen when I'm doing it rather than anything else. But yeah, we will add this as another alarm. Cool. Alright, so the next thing up is the science lab, which should hopefully, if we switch back to the thing, this should have some science in it. There you are, 449 already. What I'll do is I will ignore this, and then next time when we're at our next thing, I'll transmit then. So our next job is Ike Lander. So if we can switch to that, Ike Lander, switch to. Okay, 2-second burn is a. And what is our Ike periapsis plan is 50 kilometers. That's fine. That's a good. So yeah, it's 100 kilometers and then 50 kilometers, which will give us a lot of leeway for doing our docking. Cool. So yeah, let's okay, let's delete the Ike Lander thing. Let's warp to its and we still have control of it, which is good. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this from here because I wanna make sure that it ends up where we want it to be. 15 seconds. 7. I think this is probably the best way to do it. So it's like, oh no, that's too much. I guess we can try and correct it. I do have monoprop on here. I could probably use it to like adjust things slightly. Oh god, it's done that thing where it doesn't know which way to point. Oh well, no matter. We've got plenty of delta V. We should be fine. So let's call that. Let's see when our periapsis will be. Let's add a maneuver. And let's 1 minute 57 seconds. Our periapsis is not high enough there. Let's let's bring our apoapsis to 50, and then we can. And we can use the maneuver. So our inclination is going to be 8 degrees. You know, not great, but we can again we can address that later. But yeah, we're going to 2-minute burn, which should be fine. Because we're not leaving this sphere of influence until like several minutes after that. So, and again we'll add our thing, which in 76 days, which should hopefully be, yeah, cool. Let's add that, because again, like these burns, we don't really have a lot of choice. We need to do these burns here because otherwise we miss the thing. So the next one is in 9 days. KSS Pioneer. There it is. Okay, so let's switch back to this. .3 second burn. That's not a lot of burn. I'll do, rather than go around and change all of these. I'll probably just do this on. Yeah, probably just try doing this on. Now we've got time. Let's at least make this like. Really set up a cal controller to control this. Why did I put 6 engines on this thing? Oh yeah, that's why, because 6 engines gives you better thrust to weight ratio. Do 5, and then oh no 5. There we go. 6 second burns a lot nicer. Okay, let's delete this. Go to map screen. Let's focus our view on Ike. So we currently have an Ike periapsis, don't we? Yes, we do. That's good. Okay. Point ourselves at our maneuver node, and then we'll warp. Then we go do the same with the Duna Lander. Right. There we go. That'll do nicely. Periaptus. Right, let's switch back to this and just reset all of these back up to 100% because otherwise it will tell us our like capture burn will be way too long. Cool. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. There we go. Right, that's cool. That's fine. Back to the map screen. Yeah, 16 days. Wow, this thing is getting there a lot quicker. Like we're gonna be in orbit around stuff, which is gonna be a bit of an issue. But there's not really much we can do about it now. Maneuver. Whee. Three-minute burn, roughly. And then 1.6, that's not too bad. Hypothesis and variances of 97 It's not, yeah, it's alright. 1300 meters per second, so that's definitely going to be the majority of our, yeah, that's definitely going to be the majority of our fuel consumption, or at least for the external tank. So I imagine we'll probably need to keep an eye on the external tank. But again, though, because this is a deceleration burn, we don't need to worry too much about doing it super accurately. So let's add in this one. Again, it's looking good, 16 days. Again, the Ike Lander's coming in a fair way afterwards. So it's, yeah. I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? So hopefully the Ike Lander will be coming in when we have, yeah, hopefully they'll be coming in. I mean, like maybe we can have the comsat set up around Ike before that arrives, which would be ideal. But anyway, so the next thing is Duna Lander. So we've added this in, 16 days away. See if we can find the Duna Lander. It'll be one of these things. Ike Lander, Duna comsat, Duna Lander stage. There we go. Switch to this. Make sure our 7-second burn. You see, this orbital path's quite nicely like curved, so it means that we won't need so much delta V to close it into an orbit. But yes, so let's point ourselves at our maneuver node, delete the thing. Alright, cool. Point to where you need to go. Let's delete this. Let's time warp to our maneuver node. There we go. Juniper abscess, 102 kilometers. That is absolutely fine. So the next thing we have to do is we need to set this up. So 81 days, 5 hours, 56 minutes. That is cool. Nothing is going to be happening then. So let's add our maneuver. Let's pull ourselves into a nice circular looking orbit. There we go. So let's add this for our thing. 4-minute burn, which is fine. And we'll be staging, so that's cool. Right, so the next thing up is Duna comsat. And we'll also we switch back to KSS Pioneer, and yeah, they are arriving way ahead of everything else. I guess these transfer orbits are a bit you know, hopefully we'll see what time Duna comsat's due to arrive. Hopefully, if we get comsat set up before everything else arrives, that'll be useful, because then we should have definitely have connection. But anyway, yes, let's switch to. We've definitely got that, haven't we? Yeah. 81 days, 63 days. Cool. Yeah, so our Kerbals will be waiting a while for things to arrive. So that's that one. Duna comsat is the next one. I realized that because I'm deploying 3 satellites, each like any around each body, I can do 1 of each, and then that should hopefully keep the balance. And then like when we're actually doing deployments, we're not actually going to be doing any burns with this thing, so hopefully it will just stay in orbit. Boy, this thing is long. Right. Let's make sure we're set up in map mode. So it'll arrive at Ike 60 days. Oh, sorry, it'll arrive just before the Ike Lander does. Like, if this is anything to go by. Right. Okay, so we've got a 6-second burn. Let's get rid of this maneuver node, of this alarm clock, and let's warp to our maneuver node. Oh. Dang it. 0.5 meters per second, maybe we can I have a feeling we've probably used up not all of it. That's fine. Okay, cool. That's pretty much exactly what we wanted. I don't know what the monogram was trying to do then, but I think it was probably trying to rotate, but it was not being very effective. Cool. So hopefully this periapsis is 57 days away, which is good. It means we get so it's coming in 3 days for the Ike Lander. So in theory, if we can fix, because I mean like the orbital period around Ike's probably not going to be very. If we can fix things, then we can set up this comnet before the Ike Lander arrives, and we're guaranteed to be able to get the Ike Lander. Assuming we can get this thing to actually well, this thing's got all of the things. As long as we have a connection to Kerbin, we should be fine. Let us. So yeah, we've got 200 kilometer. So we want a 339 point. So this will be where we try and set up our apoapsis to be exactly what we want it to be. So if we have, okay, let's it's too much. We'll reduce this. We want 339 point something something something. 335, 36, 37, 38, 39.533. Five, 3, 8. Five, 3, 8. God damn it! That's as low as it'll go. 5, 5, 3, 8. We'll have to do. Cause that's about the apoapsis we want. The periapsis we want is about as close to 200 as we can get. And then yeah, as long as we set up the thing to have the same, the satellites have the same orbital period, we should be fine. Okay, let's add this. 57 days away. Cool. So yeah, the so even though we launched the Pioneer last, or like we set it off last, it's going to be arriving first by about a month. So I reckon if we switch to the next thing will be the Pioneer returning. So basically, like as we approach Duna, I want to grab like space high above Duna as we're coming into the system. Then we don't need to worry about it too much. We can worry about space low when we get into it, when we get ready to dock and do our landing. And we also want to do space high over Ike as well. So, yeah, we zoom out. There's our KSS Pioneer, which is the next thing we want to switch to. And whilst we're here, if we have connection to the signal strength is good. This should have 500 science unless it's transmitted that now. Nice. Cool. Right, so next thing to happen is in 9 days, which should be our breaking. If we can just focus on maneuver 1, why don't we? Right, so we want to time warp to just after we get into Duna's sphere of influence, so that we're in space high, do our science, time warp till we're at, I'm not even sure if we hit in space low, but we'll see if we do. But we definitely want to collect in space high over Duna, so again, we're 9 days away. And the next thing we're focusing on is this maneuver, so what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this, because this is the next thing we're focusing on. So if I time warp us to just after we enter Duna's sphere of influence. So theoretically we should connect up with here, like so. There we go. And well, we should be in space high over Duna's midlands. So let's go do some science. So yes, let's transfer, let's get Bob into here for starters. And we'll get Bob out on E.V.A. like so. We then switch this thing, we hit the number 1 to do our, to deploy the ladder and open the doors. We hit 5 to do our science, which for the first set will be which we will store. And we switch back to Bob. Bob goes up. Bob grabs the data. He climbs down. He shimmies his way down here. Might as well get the data from here. Actually, we'll get him to extend the boom again. We collect, restore. We don't necessarily need to restore these here. We can do it with the oh, cancel. We won't take the data. We don't log any more data. Take data. E.V.A. report. Shove that in here. Still 7 experiments. Then we switch back. We hit 5. Like so. We switch back to boop. We head on up. Grab this data. We head on down. We download this data. We extend the boom again. Collect, restore. Collect, restore. Take. Shove it in here. Oh, we only have 6 experiments because we haven't done our E.V.A report yet. E.V.A report. We store our 7 experiments. And then we head back up. And in theory, I don't think we'll need anything else because if we switch back to the thing and we hit 5, then we should be able to store all kinds of things in these data. So if we stick this, 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 there we go. And then we switch back to bub. Extend the boom again. I like it when it's extended. We take our E.V.A report and then we board and then we review the data, process it into the lab. We then clean experiments. And then we hit 1 and we close up all this stuff. Right, so this is space high over Duna. So we should have now got 493 lovely datas, which is good. And now I'm not sure we can see Duna yet. Where is? Oh, there it is. There's Duna. So I'm going to time warp and see if we hit. I don't think we're going to hit in space low over Duna, but I think we'll probably transfer to Ike. I just do this on the map screen. Okay, so we have our maneuver at 3 hours 22 minutes. We enter the Ike system, I believe. 3 hours 10 minutes and 56 seconds. Our thing is 3 hours and 20 minutes. So we have about 10 minutes between. So hopefully that'll be enough time to get us in space high over Ike. It might not be, but I think 10 minutes should be long enough for us to do. I mean, we'll probably end up. I assume we hit in space low, but let's just warp to just below. Just as we get into. Hopefully we should be in space high over. Okay, so we're in space high over Ike. We have 9 minutes until we start our burn. So let's see if we can't do this. So let's just get transfer. Let's grouse again. Your turn. Transfer into here. Let's keep an eye on this start burning. Grouse. Let's E.V.A. Switch this thing. Let's hit 1. Let's hit 5. Let's keep all of these because we're going to grab them. Let's switch back to grouse. Let's grab this data. Let's do an E.V.A report. Let's go down. Let's download this data. Let's extend the boom. Let's go down here. Let's do all this stuff. Let's collect data. Let's restore. Let's collect data. Let's restore. Let's take data. Let's take data. Let's store our 7 experiments in here. Let's climb back up. Let's switch back to the thing. We have 7 minutes to go. Let's hit 5. Let's collect all of these experiments. Let's switch back to grouse. Let's head up. Let's grab this data. Let's take our E.V.A report. Let's head down. Let's down. Down is the direction I want to go. Let's collect the boom. Collect the magnetometer report. Let's extend the boom. Let's collect data. Let's restore. Let's collect data. Let's restore. Take data. Take data, and let's store our 7 experiments in here. So there's now 21 experiments in there, 21 data in there. We will head back up in case anything won't. Well, actually, we'll stay down here in case anything won't fit in the. Actually, let's take our E.V.A report for a start. Let's keep that. Switch back. We have 6 minutes to go. Let us do this. Let's shove this in the thing. 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 Okay, this is going to be too much, so let's keep that. 715 will fit. Cool. So we need to figure out. Right. Let's switch back to you. Let's figure out what things we actually need to do. Going to where we're throwing. That's fine. We took that. Is there anything of these that we don't need to take these data? No, no. No. Alright. These are all our data's been taken. This has not been, so let's do that. Still in space high. Let's extend the boom. Let's head on up. Let's make sure that this thing. That we have 2 experiments on us, which we're going to store because we're going to store 2 experiments in there, and then we're going to go down to the thing, and we are going to. Well, we would do if we could. There we go. And we will board here. Cool, we are done. Let's hit 1, and we have 4 minutes and 47 seconds before we need to do our burn. So let's point ourselves where we need to point. This is going to be quite a hefty burn, so there's a good chance we're going to be depositing this. Right. I hope that we end up hitting. So yeah, we managed to do all of that in space high, which is good. So now we just need to come into a stable orbit, and then we've got all the time in the world to do in space low if we are in space low. We might not be, which means we might have to like toy around with our orbit a bit to grab in space low at some point. I didn't check what the thing was, but let's do this anyway. Yeah, these are all fine. 3-minute burn to decelerate. Oh, nice. We should hopefully. I might keep going until we've got everything in orbit around Duna. Or actually, no, I won't, because the next thing is Duna comsat, and I'm going to try and set up that comsat around Ike, which will be a bit of an involved process. So it's probably best if we leave this thing in orbit around Ike, and then we do the rest of the things coming into orbit on Thursday. Okay, right, let's hit it. time orbit. Wow, this thing stores a lot of fuel. Still in space high, but that's fine. Again, we can always grab in space low with a lander. Probably a better idea. But yeah, we still have fuel in this thing, and this thing should still be full. Okay, maybe not. What was the point of this? It's supposed to be feeding fuel into there. Oh well, maybe we can transfer. Maybe we can transfer the fuel into here. That's certainly a bit annoying. I thought this pipe would be transferring the fuel into there, but obviously it hasn't done. Yeah. Alright, I might need to, can I enable? Oh no, because it's a decoupler, I can't enable crossfeed. That is annoying. So we're gonna run out of fuel entirely before we should be fine. I mean, I got like 1900, so like we can always replenish our fuel stores, even if we don't. Yeah, okay. I was kind of hoping that this thing would actually like pump the fuel, so that these things would stay full, and then we wouldn't have had to lug this thing around the whole time. But since it still has fuel in it, then I guess we need to, I guess, keep using it until we don't need it anymore. But we should hopefully be in orbit around Ike now. Nice. I hope they're going in orbit around in the right direction. So yeah, anti-clockwise, which is what we want. So coming up onto our mark now. So yeah, I definitely want to get in space low. Yeah, we're not going to get in space low with this thing, I don't think. So we'll do that with the lander, and then sort of collect all the data when the lander comes back. So what we will do is we will add a science lab, which 28 days to another 500 science, which is nice. So let's add that, because we're going to be getting science out of this before even the Duna comsat even arrives. So what we will do is we will consider that a hopefully successful transfer. We'll see if we can get all of the other stuff successfully into their respective orbits. Because now because this thing's arrived first, it means that this might be occluded by Ike if we're not careful. Whereas, so the only real danger zone at the moment is if this is occluded by Ike when the Duna comsat, which is the next thing. So the next thing to arrive in the system is Duna comsat in 48 days' time. 3 days later, Ike has its capture burn, then the Duna transfer stage. So the only risk is if we don't have an active com link to the Ike, to the Duna comsat when it arrives at Ike, which is possible if Ike occludes the Kerbal Space Center and occludes the Pioneer. Because in theory, if it has connection to the Pioneer, then it should have remote control, I think. But yes, anyway, so that'll be the next big thing. But let's do this. Let's leave these chaps nicely in orbit. I think Bill Kerman, our engineer, can go into have a chill out a bit in the habitation module. I don't think he's really needed in the command module. He's gonna have a bit of time off, a bit of downtime. Could try and have him come out and fix this, but I don't know if that's possible. Alternatively, we can just jettison this fuel, but I don't want to jettison this fuel yet, unless we absolutely need to. The problem is, like, we're gonna run out of fuel entirely, so it's probably not gonna be a good time to jettison this. But we still have 1900 meters per second so I guess like when it becomes time to do the refill, because we'll get more if we have a situation where we have fuel to refill this with, then we will do so. We'll then jettison this because hopefully we'll have more fuel. We'll have more units of fuel to transfer in than the 316 we lose by getting rid of this early. But yes, so let's go to the Space Center. And just before we sign off, I will, because I wonder if we've got 550. We might do. We have 530. God damn it, not quite enough. Having said that, we might be able to get some, because we are 20 science away from metamaterials, which gives us the Climbotron docking port senior, which I want to build to start building a space dock essentially. We get the 5-meter protective shell and the 5-meter engine plate as well. Oh, nice. And some adapters and stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to quickly check to see if we have enough research in our. I think Minmus science base is the fastest at accumulating science. So I'm wondering if we just and they're still in daylight, so let's go and just do that quickly. How much science is in here? Oh, okay, nearly 500. Nice. Well, let's just let's there we go, 500, and we have. Let's just use that electric charge whilst we have it. Nice. And we're still, yeah, we're still way away from. Right, let's head back to Space Center with our science. Let's go to the research. 1,000 science. Right, so let's grab metamaterials before we do anything else. Metamaterials, which would be good. 400, which should be enough to get a large volume containment, which gives us our first set of 37 tanks to be useful if you want to like combine very heavy rocketry to start putting some big shit into orbit. And then we start wondering about field science. We have 400, so we have enough for this and one of these. Specialized control will be useful for I think. Let's just grab this first off. We've got 180 left, so let us. This will be useful. Heavy aerodynamics gives us a bunch more stuff. High altitude flight will give us some more things. Well, let's just grab specialized control whilst we're here. Cool. We've already got a fair bit of technology tree researched, so yeah, eventually we'll just start accumulating science. But yes, let's do that. Let's go and let's consider that a successful session. We will save our game and we will call it there. Quit to main menu. Moon or bust. Cool. Right. Yeah. So yep. We successfully arrived. Like the main crew of the main ship have arrived at in orbit of Ike. We're now awaiting the arrival of the rest of the kit, essentially. So next time we'll be doing we'll do the arrival of the communications network and see if we can't get the communications network set up around Ike and Duna in time for those landers to arrive, which will hopefully make it a lot easier for the landers to make sure we can actually get the landers into orbit. And if we have time, we'll also start looking at designing a space dock space station, with the intent that it will be up there and in orbit and ready for when the KSS Pioneer returns. And I have some ideas as to the design of that, but that'll be on Thursday at 6 p.m. British Summer Time or 5 p.m. UTC. I will try and set that up in my Twitch schedule, but I was trying to do it earlier, and it just insisted on putting it on Monday, which isn't what I wanted. So hopefully I'll get that sorted soon. But if not, then if you want to watch me do like screw up horrendously live, then yeah, next Thursday at 6 p.m. Until then, cheerio.